I haven't written in a while. I know. And I'm gonna probably do that tomorrow. That's my plan. I wanna like clean my house, do some housework, and then do some writing. Excuse me. Okay. Well, I don't put titles for my writing. I probably should. If you have a title that you can think of that would be like, oh, this would be a really good title for what you just read, then I would love that suggestion. My lips are very dry. All right, so here. And I'm going to read it twice and then I'll do a little talk. This lighting makes me look good. I'm sorry. Okay. Maybe that's what held me back. I crave a real love where we stand by each other, not something perfect, something real, something that hurts. Distance hurts, but we do it. We know we have to make our mark on the world. We have to complete the mission set forth by God. But when the battle is over, there is a home to go to, and that home is you. Oh, how I desire, crave a love, a touch, someone who I know is solely mine and I'm theirs, but we're free. Where are you? Do you even exist? Am I fooling myself? Did I miss my stop? I cry now for the love I never had but lost. The love I didn't appreciate, the love that passed me by. My heart hurts, aches for someone I don't even know. The hardest part, you may not even be real. My thorn, to be utterly alone in the physical. But why? I crave connection from the bottom of my soul, the deepest part of my soul. My life isn't mine. I know that. But man, I wish there was a partner in the works. God, I surrender this to you, but I'm still going to cry about it. Maybe that's what held me back. I crave a real love where we stand by each other, not something perfect, something real, something that hurts. Distance hurts, but we do it. We know that we have to make our mark on the world. We have to complete the mission set forth by God. But when the battle is over, there's a home to go to, and that home is you. Oh, how I desire, crave a love, a touch, someone who I know is solely mine and I am theirs, but we are free. Where are you? Do you even exist? Am I fooling myself? Did I miss my stop? I cry now for a love I never had, but I lost. The love I didn't appreciate, the love that passed me by. My heart hurts, it aches for someone I don't even know. The hardest part, you may not even be real. My thorn, to be utterly alone in the physical. But why? I crave connection from the bottom of my soul, the deepest part of my soul. My life isn't mine. I know that. But man, I wish there was a partner in the works. God, I surrender this to you, but I'm still going to cry about it. Um, so I guess people related to that. I don't know. That one actually got people looked at it more than a lot of my other things, surprisingly. And I don't know. For me, this is coming from I'm currently in a discernment of my vocation. So I grew up in a Protestant church. So this idea of there being vocation and vocation includes marriage and not marriage. And then within those, it can mean so many things. So it could be like marriage and your marriage is sanctified and you guys help in a church or like go to the church or have your own thing. But then there's also like, will you guys literally become ministers so you guys can be missionaries? You guys are, completely absolved in the church. And then there's consecrated living, right? So the vocation of being single. And there's this idea of you being single and then you go, the traditional one is like you go to the convent, you become a nun. And then even in that, there's a discernment because it's like, what kind of nun are you supposed to be? Are you a nun of charity? Are you a missionary? Are you a writer? There are so much nuance. And then it's like, or is it consecrated living outside of the convent? You just live your life, but you are consecrated to God. So all this is, very new information for me. I'm also not exactly young. I'm not old. I'm young. But all of this is now being thrown at me, and it's like, wow, I kind of have to make a decision. People see certain things in me where they're like, oh, like this for you, or I see this for you, or I see that for you, and it's confusing and it's overwhelming. Um, I never really saw myself as someone who wanted to get married. I just felt like, uh, not for me. Um, but the older I've gotten, it was a switch that happened in my life when I was in like my mid 20s. I all of a sudden just had this desire to want to be in this long term partnership. Like I wanted a marriage. I was like, "Oh, like, I want to find somebody that I can take on life with." And I do believe in, like, the traditional sense of, like, submitting, and it's just like, I do believe in that, but then I don't know if that's just all part of the story for me to end up in consecrated living because I am to submit to God ultimately and primarily, even within a marriage, right? So that submission to God is what shows you how you are to submit in a relationship. And that's how it works because God is not, it's knowing the qualities that God has. And that's how we pick a partner as well, right? And I just crave something, like, real. I don't want the whole flowery, like, I'm not expecting things to be perfect. I think nowadays there's this illusion because we present certain things on social media, so we think that all relationships are, like, perfect and things are always gonna be perfect, but that's not really how it works. It's just impossible for that to really be reality. And I understand that, like my parents, I feel like they have a really good marriage, even though, they argue because arguing is literally normal and there's never been lines that were truly crossed. Um, Other people, that's a whole other thing. I'm not gonna be here and advise people on certain situations. That's not what this video is about. But it's knowing something authentic, something who I want to confront the things in life for. I can't imagine marrying somebody and then being like upset about it. Like, how like some married people, that's like their whole personality is that like they're upset that they got married or they're upset that they chose their person. I wanna be with people who, like, are just happy to be in love with each other, and they're, like, old, and they're, like, holding hands, and, like, you know, that is the love that I imagine. Now, sometimes I do wonder, like, "Huh," but I never wanted to get married as a girl, like a little girl. I loved wedding dresses, but I just like dresses. And it was more it I wonder if it's, like, maybe it's not something that maybe it's one of those things that I actually need to that I'm going to, like, give up, you know, or that I'm not meant for, and I just am so unaware because I've never been in a relationship to know, like, if I actually like partnership. I crave, like, deep connection, with people, with friends, with family. I really just hate this like surface level BS that like people are offering. I want something more authentic. I want something deep. I want a real conversation. It's like, and then I don't know. if it's an illusion of mine that, like, the way I'm going to get that is through a relationship, um, or if it's, like, supposed to be through community. Um, so it's just, like it's been, like, one of my things that I'm kind of going through, so that's where this came from. That's why it just sounds, like, very romantic and flowery, and I'm coming to find out that I've always been kinda quite romantic. I just think I didn't want to, admit it. Um, and it's just I'm realizing that is something that I truly just desire, and I don't know if it's that I desire connection, right? Because that's mentioned in there, like, I crave a real connection from, like, the deepest parts of my soul. And the part about me being like, "Oh, well, maybe my thorn is, like, maybe I just have to be, like, alone in this life, and that's just what it is," because, like, spiritually, of course, like, the angels are there and the saints and God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and, like, they're accompanying me on my way, um, and maybe they're the only ones who are supposed to know the intimate details of my life and my heart, um, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have been if I'm disillusioned of what I hope to find. I don't know. And that's where this kinda came from. It's just me I'm wrestling with this discernment period. And, yeah, so that was something. But I it's beautiful. I mean, it to fall in love would be a privilege, even if the lesson I learned from that is that, like, marriage is not for me. Like, I still feel like even the experience would be something, but I don't know. I've been heartbroken many times, not romantically, and it was not great. But I did learn a lot, and I'm so thankful for those people. But sometimes I think, like, it would be just nice to have, like, another human being. Like, I love God, and I love him, and I know he loves me. But sometimes, like, I just want, like, another person. So, it's what I crave, real love. Romantic, yeah, but just love and camaraderie between 2 human beings. So, yeah, that's this one. And then I'm gonna do one where maybe not a lot of people read it.